Okay, it's rolling. Hi, welcome back to my channel, Mrs. Homemaker's channel, at least for now. Um, she did jump. I was looking at Molly, my cat. I got sidetracked. Uh, as always, for those who are new to my channel, you will see that I'm easily distracted by my many cats that I have. So bear with me if I start wandering off here and there or rolling my eyes. But yes, today I'm going to be making video on just on my harvest that I got. It's just a small harvest. I can't even call it a harvest. I should just say picking. I pick my vegetables on a daily basis as needed, uh, only because I have a small garden. I had to dig my garden with a hand and shovel, so I made it small this year. Uh, one year, Sarge said he was going to till me a garden, so I'm waiting for that day. Then I'll have a nice big garden. But till then, it's strictly just a small plot, or I have things planted in a tub. But I am amazed at how many tomatoes you can get out of a few tomato plants, which I will be showing later on. So that's what this video is going to be about. It's actually all my videos are about just me doing my thing, as Sarge calls it, and hope that you guys find it interesting or inspiring. But um, before I get started, I have a big plan for for the day. So I thought I would make myself a hearty breakfast, the kind of foods I like to eat. Um, it's not traditional Japanese, but it's Japanese style. It's just I just whip things up because I was getting hungry. But I just thought I would share that with you. I have miso soup, which is very traditional, which I hate to say it, but I cheated. This is out of instant. I don't have miso. I can order miso online, which I will have to do one day and show you how to make real miso soup, the way my mom used to make. But this is instant. Of course, you know me, I have to dress it up a little bit. I don't want to spill it. I'll tilt the camera instead. Let's see. It came with a seasoning pack, and let me see if I can pick it up. And a little bit of seaweed. And this round thing is supposed to be tofu. Of course, you know, I'm not satisfied with that. So I put my own tofu. Nice. What a comparison, right? Nice tofu versus little dinky one. But you know, that's what you get in an instant package. It's all dehydrated and the flavor is not bad. It was a little weak. I had to put another packet because it said to put 3/4 cup water, hot water. And I followed it exactly, and it was a little on the weak side for me. So I ended up putting more hot water and another packet, which I will show you in case you guys want to make miso soup one day. Now, I got this in my local supermarket. So if my local supermarket carries this, I'm sure yours will too. It's in the Asian food section. I can tilt this back now. I have short arms. Yeah. It's shiro miso soup. It's white miso. They have two kinds, white and red. They call it dark miso. Yes. And it comes in a packet like this. I think there was like three, yep, three packets in this big package. Makes 3 servings. But for me, it's 1.5. Because I like my miso soup. I don't drink it that often, so when I do make myself a soup, I make a nice size. And while we're talking about tofu, the way I store my tofu, I don't think a lot of people know this. You know, it comes in a tub, and most people just take it out of the tub and put it in a container and put it in the refrigerator. Well, I put mine in the refrigerator too. You don't have to, but I do. But I take it out of the tub, and you put it in a container, and you fill it. You submerge it in water. As long as it's kept under the water, it will keep for a long time. And I'm talking long time. You'll use it before it goes bad, and you'll know when it does. I never had my tofu go bad, but well, I do remember I left it on a warm day. This was years ago, and I forgot all about it. It was in some cupboard or something, and it was getting a little foamy. It's like it gets the water's not clear, and it gets like milky, muddy looking, cloudy, and it will start to foam. You know, it's organic, and it's what do you call? It's fermented. Yeah, I think that's the word. Don't quote me. So it will last. And that's why it's good for you. Tofu is good for you, really. And it's a good thing Americans are starting to eat a lot of Asian food. Well, foods from other countries, you know. We are so blessed here in this country that we have people from different culture, different nationality, that we can adopt their good habits. But so I have miso soup, and of course I have white rice and my egg. I use a little bit of mirin. It's seasoned vinegar, just a little bit, and salt and pepper. And if you want to, you can add soy sauce a little bit. But I made it plain. It's just one of those easy, everyday food that I just whip up. And I happen to have leftover roasted cauliflower, which I love, so I heated that up. And that is my breakfast for the day. So I will chit chat with you while I eat. It's already 8 minutes. It's going to be a short one. It's just a chitty chatty breakfast. Come have breakfast with me. And here I have traditionally I always like to have a little bit of umeboshi, which is pickled plum. It's really salted and dried pickled plum. I don't know if it's dry. It tastes like it's semi-dry, but it's pickled for sure, salt pickled. It's very salty. Well, I don't have that, and I don't know where you find that except online. And I happen to just make fermented cherry tomatoes. I have a big harvest of cherry tomato, and you can only eat so much salads. So I made a fermented cherry tomato. It's salt fermented, and it's very tasty, salty but very tasty. And it kind of reminded me of that umeboshi, which is very salty. So I'm gonna have that. It holds its shape. I should show you how to make this one day. It's really salty though. Tastes really good though. And it keeps its texture. I guess I should just say mukbang. Breakfast mukbang. How's that? It's kind of rude. I feel weird eating in front of a camera for you guys. The cauliflower is roasted. To me, you know it's cauliflower, but when you roast it in the oven till it's sort of like caramelized a little bit on the top, it takes on a whole different flavor. Even the non-cauliflower people just might enjoy it. So try it. You might like it. And I have just plain scrambled eggs. Like I said, in Japan, we often season our eggs beyond salt and pepper. Here today, I have it with a little bit of mirin, which is pretty traditional. I know. I take big bites. That will never change. Unless I'm going to a fancy restaurant. Then, of course, I have to eat accordingly. And not talk with my mouth full. But and in Japan, when you drink soup, sometimes they will give you a soup spoon, like the Chinese soup spoon. But for the most part in Japan, we slurp. It's okay to slurp. When I say slurp, I don't mean, you know, really loud. That's, of course, that's not very nice. Not ladylike anyway. But, should you make a little sound, no one's going to stare at you. It's permissible in Japan. Only in Japan. Don't go to France or England and do all that stuff. And said Mrs. Homemaker said it was okay. No, only in Japan. It is permissible. You might think, is she really going to eat all that? Yes. I I think, at least from what I know, I'm not a good Japanese, okay? Let me get that straight. I'm only Japanese by blood. But, and I was born in Okinawa and raised, uh, in Okinawa. But it was in such a small, sheltered community that I really never had to um, chance to learn my own culture or to hang out with my uh, Japanese friends very much. So only when I grew up, I started making friends with the neighbors. Yes, I really did live a sheltered life. And that is why I think I speak English well. My accent is bad though. It's my stepfather said it is because I speak Japanese and English simultaneously, back and forth. Because my mom is Japanese. My stepfather, he's multinational. He's Portuguese, Spanish, uh, born in England, I think, and came to Hong Kong as a little kid. His father was a banker, and through work, the whole family came to work. I have this because my little Mary is on the counter, which she's not supposed to be, not when I'm eating. But so yes, they came to Hong Kong as a little kid. So he speaks. I think like three different dialects of Chinese and Spanish, and of course Portuguese. His father is Portuguese. His his mother is Spanish. And like I said, I am full Japanese blood. But I went to an American school. You know, they have because of my dad's situation, he was a foreigner living in Okinawa. We sort of had a little community of foreign people. And where did those kids go? We either those who are fortunate enough to uh, go to military school, you know, the American military school did. My father, we did for a little short period, but then when he lost his job with the military uh, and went civilian, we were denied of that privilege, so we went to a parochial, English-speaking parochial school, uh, strictly for the foreigners living there. So, as a from kindergarten throughout, I spoke English, and where I get my accent or I do slur. I and I realize that, so I'm trying to overcompensate. I think with my the way I talk. There is a word for how I talk. I can't think of it now, but yes. Oops, hold on. I need to get a rag. I spilled. I spilled my miso soup. Uh, yeah, it's already 17 minutes, and I will put my breakfast aside. This is, in case you haven't seen it, this is that fermented cherry. They take on a nice dark red, gets even darker, and I just make small batch. But that's already fermented. The fermentation is done, so I just put it in the refrigerator. And I wanted to show you my legs went to sleep. What kind of a harvest I got from that little bit of plot I have. But it also included from my tubs. I know. You're probably thinking, I think I see a overgrown zucchini. Yes. This is what happens when you forget to pick one, or when you just procrastinate and it was raining. But you know what? It makes for wonderful zucchini bread or dishes like that. Even quiche. But yes, I'm gonna use this. I've even used a zucchini that was much bigger than this. I don't let it go to waste. Why should you? It tastes it tastes delicious. So I got about 4 zucchinis. They're not all that big. In fact, I have more that I should be. Ooh, 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 oh. I don't know. I get cramps on my this. This isn't that bad. It's usable. The other ones are a little smaller yet, so which is much better. Then I planted these. I planted this yellow zucchini. I have 3 of those because they get big. They are a prolific giver. You know, in fact, I thought zucchini was bad. My yellow zucchini it really gives like 1.5 times more. So I'm going to plant them again. The only problem is I don't know what to do too much with yellow zucchini. I have to look recipes online. And my peppers, nice size for a garden that I did not fertilize last year, early spring. I do use organic fertilizing liquid, which I had just a little bit of, and I used that. And that was simply because this year, I told you many times, my budget is tight this year. And that's why I started growing vegetables. I'm glad I got some. Not to mention, you don't know what's going to happen, you know, when things happen, like, I don't know how you say that. It's not apocalypse, but when if things really go bad, people are putting fear into everybody's mind these days. The Democratic Party, I would say, not only them, but even the preppers online. I don't know what party they are, but they they want to justify their their videos by. To me, I feel like they're making us putting fear into us. And we should all be prepared. I wholeheartedly agree to some extent. But there are people who just cannot afford to prepare themselves, or, whether it's financial, that they can't afford financially, or maybe they're not able to go out, you know, put up a garden and do all that stuff. So next year, if things are still bad, I'm going to make my garden twice the size and be able to share more. That's what it's all about, sharing. If you're fortunate enough to be able to grow something, share it with your neighbors. This isn't too big, but it's okay. This is pimento. You can tell the difference. This is bell pepper. You know how it's blocky in size, and this is like pointy. The bottom is like pointy, like a heart shape. And if you let this sit long enough, it will turn red. And it is pimento pepper. This is bell pepper. And everybody know what this is, jalapeno pepper. We all love jalapeno, especially most of my friends and I do. So yeah, I have few of those. I have more in outside, which I did not pick. I don't like to pick them, unless I really have to, unless they get big that they need to be picked. Because if I don't use them fast enough or can them, they're just going to go to waste. I did not plant what do you call those big beefsteak. I used to plant beefsteak, just because it's so impressive to have a big tomato. Excuse me. There we go. Only because it's so impressive to have a big tomato. But here in North, we have really short growing season that even if you start early, it just takes so long for the big tomatoes. And I often find myself not having enough time to have vine ripened big tomatoes. So this year I looked on the packet for the least amount of growing time. And I think they were called, I, I'm not sure, I think they were called patio tomatoes or celebrity, one or the other. They did not get very big. And I know it's not supposed to get very big, but I was hoping a little bit bigger than this. Just look at this. Here's a cherry tomato. I mean, it is bigger than cherry tomato, but it's a little small. Next year, I might plant one or two of these, But I am going to plant somewhere in between beefsteak and this bigger than this, maybe early girl, something like that, or big boy. Big boys like beefsteak. In fact, I like that better because beefsteak might be tasty, but they have ridges, and I feel like it's a lot of waste of tomato. So yeah, I might plant early girl next year. Might depends, but yeah, and I got a lot of cherry tomatoes. They really. I was kind of proud of myself that I was able to get all this with with only few plants. So I have to get busy. That's why I have this it's my work shirt. I don't wear aprons, so this is what I wear. I'll be doing some canning. I also planted Roma. I think they were called, I call them Roma. To me, all canning tomatoes are Roma. The elongated tomatoes, they're meaty. I think they're called San Marino, San something, Marino. If you know, so just business call. But this is very meaty. That is great for canning. Whereas the other round tomatoes are great for eating fresh or for salads because they're juicy. They have flavor. They just are very more meatier than juicier. Great for sauces and marinara sauce, which I would like to make if I have enough. It all depends on what kind of harvest I get. I get in few weeks because it feels like fall. It's getting cooler in the morning, and I'm afraid one day they're gonna say we're gonna have frost. And all my tomatoes, there's a lot of green tomatoes on the plant yet. And that some people have even ripped out the garden already. So I don't know. I hope I get a lot more than this. But yes, I think this is all I have to talk about. So I did show you my, yeah, yes, I did tofu, and I'm gonna eat my breakfast. So I'm gonna close it off, and it's only like 28 minutes. So yep, I'm trying to make it less than half an hour if I can. So until I make my next video, God bless, and everybody stay safe, please. And let me know if you like any of the videos or recipes that you tried, especially that Japanese souffle pancake. I'm gonna try that again. I really did like that. I really wish you would try it and let me know how it came out for you guys. So until then, God bless and stay safe. And oh, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification button and adopt a pet if you're in the market for one. Bye bye.